breaking news out of Hawaii this morning. A deadly fire in a high-rise building not far from legendary Waikiki Beach in Honolulu.
Yeah, this fire coming just weeks after that lethal inferno in London that claimed about 80 lives. Horrifying images such as these broadcast around the world. And this morning in Hawaii, big questions about what started the fire and why there were no sprinklers in that building.
And there are also stories of survival that are pouring in this morning. We're going to be speaking with the mayor of Honolulu in just a moment, but we start here with ABC's Marcy Gonzalez, who has the very latest from our Los Angeles bureau. Marcy, good morning to you.
Paula and Dan, good morning. This morning, some parts of that building are still smoldering. Firefighters putting out flames that rekindled and doing sweeps of that massive building with more than 500 apartments, making sure there are no other victims. Overnight, at least 3 people killed in this 5-alarm apartment fire in Honolulu, just 10 minutes from Waikiki Beach.
The next thing we know, the smoke just billows out. Windows are being broken, glass is flying all over.
Wow, you guys, this is crazy.
The fire breaking out on the 26th floor of the Marco Polo building and spreading. Residents watching as flames and smoke engulfed their homes.
And then it jumped to the 27th floor. And then it jumped to the 28th floor, and that's when I said, I'm out of here.
More than 100 firefighters on scene, evacuating some residents and instructing others to shelter in place.
The stairwell was so full of smoke, you couldn't breathe, you couldn't see. Even the fireman got down on his hands and knees and was huffing and puffing.
12 people injured, 4, including one firefighter, transported to nearby hospitals in serious condition.
And I heard 3 or 4 women's voices screaming, constant screaming, just screaming. I mean, it was terrifying.
This fire similar to the deadly inferno that consumed Grenfell Tower in London a month ago, killing about 80 people.
I think we were all feeling nervous, worried, concerned, a little freaked out.
Investigators say this high-rise in Honolulu did not have sprinklers since building codes didn't require them when it was built in 1971. And the fire chief saying had there been sprinklers, the flames likely would have been contained to just one apartment. We've reached out to the owners of the building, but they are not commenting. Investigators this morning are still trying to figure out what caused the fire. Dan?
So many questions. Marcy, thank you. Just moments ago, I spoke with the mayor of Honolulu, Kirk Caldwell. Mayor Caldwell, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Let's start with the sprinkler issue. So much concern about the lack of sprinklers in this building. Are there other large buildings in your city that also lack sprinklers, and what can you do about this?
Yes, Dan, there are. Any building that was built prior to 1971 did not have a sprinkler system. It was a high-rise. It was not mandated under our building code. Buildings built since then do have sprinklers. And so the debate that's been going on for a while is whether there be a law should be passed mandating that these older buildings actually put a sprinkler system in it. I think after a fire like this, it's going to add new incentive to look at going back and passing a law requiring that the older buildings be retrofitted.
Let me ask you about the investigation. What is the latest on the investigation into what caused this fire this morning?
We have investigators in the building now on the 26th floor where the 3 people passed away. They're removing the bodies from that floor and bringing them down to the ground level to conduct a further examination. As of this date, they don't know what the cause of the fire was. They don't see any indication of foul play, but they'll be looking at that also. But they have rendered 3 of the floors totally unoccupiable, either due to fire damage, water damage, or smoke damage.
Well, that leads to exactly what I wanted to ask you about. The people who survived but now are homeless, at least temporarily, how are they being taken care of?
So they are just down the street in a private school, and about 50 residents are in that gym tonight.
Mayor Kirk Caldwell, we really appreciate you joining us on what is a difficult morning for your city and for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As he said, this debate over retrofitting these older buildings with sprinklers is really going to heat up now.
And it's sad that it takes a tragedy for everybody to go back and take another look at that legislation.